News right now at 4:30, an APS worker is dead after a fire breaks out inside of an underground electrical vault downtown. That worker and another were doing maintenance on that box late last night.
So the fire prompting closures and evacuations this morning, and crews are still trying to track that worker down. So our ABC 15's John Genovese is live near First Avenue in Washington this morning. John, a lot of moving parts here. I imagine that this is still a very active scene.
Yeah, and guys, we just got this sad update right before we came on the air this morning. That APS worker who had been unaccounted for was found dead. Now, if I step aside, you can see here still a large number of Phoenix fire officials on scene. First Avenue right now is closed off at Adams, as is this entire block just north of Washington. We know crews are getting in there to evaluate the damage and figure out their next step. Now, Phoenix Fire tells us these electrical vaults, these electrical boxes are roughly 8 feet by 8 feet underground, and with the exception being light rail lines, there are no overhead power lines running through downtown Phoenix. So these electrical vaults are what supply power to entire buildings. Now, a second APS worker who was also working on this vault last night was able to get out. We're told they were stable and taken to the hospital with burns to their hand and face. Now, APS de-energized the box so crews could get in there and put out these flames. Fire crews also evacuated the area, but thankfully, since it was late, there weren't many people out and about. Phoenix Fire says this is a difficult situation anytime it happens, but it's something that they specifically train for with power crews.
We're right here downtown. We got a lot of downtown trucks. We've got hazmat teams that were on scene within 5 minutes. So we had a game plan. We put in place, obviously, looks to be a tragic night, but at the same time, we're very fortunate it didn't escalate into anything more than that in that one area of that box.
And we know crews are now in the process of notifying that APS worker's family. Now, as for the offices and the buildings down here, we're told they are closed for the day. The companies down here are in the process of notifying their employees not to come in. Many of these buildings, 20, 25 stories tall, are running on a secondary generator right now. So a lot of moving pieces as crews try to get in there, evaluate this damage, and again, get things back to normal, guys. And certainly it will be a long day as they work to repair all this damaged infrastructure.
Yeah, and just so sad to hear that update. We were really hopeful that that would not be the case. So our hearts certainly go out to that worker's family and the rest of his teammates as well.
Yeah, certainly not the update anybody wanted to hear. John, thank you for staying on top of that for us. Meantime, this is causing a ripple effect downtown. So here's a look at the road closures that will have an effect on your day today. First Avenue is closed between Van Buren and Jefferson. Monroe, Adams, and Washington Streets are closed between 2nd Avenue and Central. Also expect some light rail delays.
And